Eli Belling writes, "Hi there, AMC. Love the show. I was wondering if there were any movies you didn't like or were indifferent to the first time you saw them and loved them upon a second viewing. I recently had this experience with Office Space. Thanks, and keep up the great work."
David, what comes to mind?
For me, it's Man of Steel. I just watched Man of Steel for like fourth or fifth time at home, and every time I watch that movie, it gets better and better.
Okay.
It's not a film classic. It's not maybe a good example is like Office Space is kind of iconic for the comedy, and of course like this guy, my stapler, and if you could come in at 9, all those kind of jokes. But Man of Steel for me just gets better every time I watch it.
Christian?
Interstellar. Recently, when I saw it in the theater, I was like, I don't know. I had my review on it. We talked about it for a while. I watched it recently, and I really got into it a lot more. And I think because I could invest at home, rewatch some of the scenes again, really paid attention more. And it was just one of those movies. It's kind of like a study for me. And I actually agree with David as well as Man of Steel. I liked Man of Steel a lot the first time I saw it, and then I really enjoyed it a second time. And I think I can say the same thing about the Avengers: Age of Ultron. Sometimes expectations are so high on a movie that when you go and you check it out a second time and maybe look at it through different eyes or through a different approach on how you're watching it, you can enjoy it a lot more.
The one for me, we mentioned it earlier, was Assassination of Jesse James.
Oh, yeah.
Because the first time I saw that movie, I was like, oh my God, this thing is so slow.
It's like 15 hours long, right?
Just the pacing of it just felt really slow to me. I don't think I even finished it the first time. But then when I went back a few months later and said, okay, I'm going to finish this, I'll start right at the beginning. And I started watching, I was like, wow, the acting in this is fantastic. It's beautifully shot by Deakins.
Right.
I'm like, there's actually something here. And so now every time I watch it, I appreciate it more. I still think it's a little too slow paced, but I definitely like it a lot more than I used to.
The music's incredible in that movie.
Yeah.